Oh my goodness. Hello, guys. Nika here with your Daily Neuro Nugget. Guys, this is getting crazier and crazier. As you guys know, I have been keeping track on this case for the last 3 years or so. And every time we get new documents regarding this case, it's more concerning to me. Again, the lack of evidence against Bryan Kohberger in this case is insane. Yet, daring to question this lack of evidence is apparently frowned upon. And it makes one look like we are bullying people. Open your eyes, people. Again, we are a small YouTube channel, small YouTube family. Reminder, these are my opinions. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. Do what you want with this information. Come to your own conclusions, but please use this. Thank you. I am going to be talking very quickly. Work is going to shit right now, so it's like back and forth. So I'm going to talk very quickly. Bear with me. I wanted to talk about Bryan Kohberger, this breaking news, this new boom about Bryan Kohberger's Balaclava. That's how you say it, right? Balaclava. English is not my first language, so be nice, guys. Be nice. Thank you. Hey, Paco. Hey, Jody. Hey, Foxtrot. Hey, David. From South Carolina. Boo. Now, the balaclava. Let's talk about it. The ski mask, balaclava, the ski mask. First of all, just a friendly reminder for those of you. Apparently, there's a lot of people that are coming in here. Bryan Kohberger is accused of unaliving 4 people, obviously, and he was allegedly seen there by Dylan Mortensen wearing this balaclava, this ski mask. Now, before we get started, just want to point out that about maybe 50 to 80% of people in this town would have had a ski mask, right? From Indiana. Girl, what's up? Family. I used to live in Delphi, very creepy place. We all have seen the images, all of the pictures that were leaked of these girls and guys, sororities, parties, binge drinking, and everybody's wearing a balaclava. Everyone and their mother in Moscow PD seems to own a ski mask. Yes, there was this party going on where people were taking pictures with weapons and ski masks, but also we have to take into account the area. It's cold. Winters are extreme. I am sure that a lot of people wear ski masks, right? Now, the pictures around Halloween are imperative that we don't forget, because all of those pictures, again, some of the roommates included, were seen holding weapons and taking pictures with ski masks. Is that a effing weird coincidence? Let me know your thoughts. Now, let's just talk about how many people had a ski mask. That would be very confusing, right, when we were talking about this case, because if they are out there looking for somebody with a ski mask, imagine how many people around this time would have been out there purchasing a ski mask for this party alone. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome, Living Dead Girl from Georgia, from Texas. Lisa from Texas. Now, we have seen images of what we're told the balaclava look like, which is like the nose covering and basically just the eyes. I personally don't think that that is what the person that was allegedly wearing a ski mask, if they were even wearing that. Again, my opinion, we cannot trust Dylan Mortensen or any of her statements. But if it would have been a ski mask with only eyes exposed, then how are we going to believe Dylan's statement that this guy had a big nose if his nose was allegedly covered with this balaclava that only shows his eyes, right? How would she have known what his nose looks like then? Now, I want to go over these notes, this big boom, right? It's the biology analysis notes. And by the way, when I first saw this earlier during my lunch, when I was scrolling through these documents, guys, I almost passed out. Like, it says that black knit balaclava with tag on the inside of the seam, labeled in part Thinsulate insulation. Thinsulate is a brand, basically. We have seen it. I have seen it in some of the winter gloves, winter hats, winter ski masks, and such. Used bright light to examine outside and inside of possible hairs, fibers, all left in place, and peeling on the inside of the seams and around the face opening. Used IR light to examine outside and inside. Some light gray stains around Seams. Note, stains are consistent in appearance on both sides. Tested 4 total stains on the outside, all negative. Okay. Interesting. Gone girl. Dylan is a pathological liar. First of all, what did we just read? Okay, there's pilling on the inside of the seams of this balaclava. What does that mean? You know, pilling, when you buy a shirt and you wash it 1,000 times and gets all these little pills, these little cotton balls, fabric knots everywhere. Pilling means that this mask is not a new mask. Pilling is often seen in fabric when you have washed it, when you have utilized it time and time again. It's used. It is not a new mask. And why does this matter? It matters because this is not a brand new mask, right? Now, it's talking about the stains on the sides, both sides, saying that they're practically matching. I'm going to just go out on a limb here and assume that it's sweat stains. I have personally worn balaclavas when I've been out jogging in the cold, and typically you will see some stains on the side, especially from sweat, you know, the salt, the gray stains that stay on the side of a balaclava. I'm going to assume that that is sweat, right? Like how you would see in a hat and so on and so forth. But all of these tested negative. So we are supposed to believe, they think we are this stupid. We are supposed to believe that Bryan Kohberger wore this balaclava to unalive 4 people in just a few minutes, which means he would have been sweating his ass off, right? And he brutally unalived these 4 people, didn't get not one speck of DNA on this balaclava, not one speck of red fluid on this balaclava. Okay, so you have his mask and it's negative for everything. How would you even come to the conclusion that Bryan Kohberger is the unaliver if you literally have his mask that you're saying he was allegedly wearing while he horrifically, brutally unalived 4 people? And there is not one speck of DNA of anything, of anyone on that mask. The only stains on it are sweat stains. Um, are you serious right now? This is his mask? We're supposed to believe this is his mask that he owned, that he also wore, that he also wore to commit this crime. Like, at this point, it is my opinion that we need to throw out Dylan's narrative completely, start from scratch, based on what we now know from all of these new documents that are being released. And this is, again, why they are releasing it, in my opinion, from beginning to end. Because if they release from end to beginning, boy, oh boy, are we going to catch more of their BS, right? A lot of us believe that Bryan didn't do it, and maybe if he did it, show us a proof. Yet we have nothing showing that Bryan Kohberger did this. And I'm tired of people saying, but what about his confession? Come on, bro, Google it. Google the reason that false confessions happen. They're very common, right? The amount of shady people surrounding this case is actually insane. And then not only do we have the balaclava that was allegedly used to unalive 4 people in a horrific, tragic manner, in a quick manner, with no DNA, testing negative for everything, but we also have Dylan's jacket that is seriously stained. Okay, we have seen the pictures, right? Seriously stained, and we're not supposed to question that, right? And being that Xana fought so hard, you're telling me she didn't try to grab him and get red fluid on his mask? I mean, maybe it's possible, but that is extremely highly improbable. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Debbie Licious. Um, at this point, it's like this is almost ironically hilarious. As I've said multiple times, how is it possible that he is even in jail? There is no way that there would not be a blood splatter on that ski mask whatsoever, right? And what is even more wild to me is that people think that Bryan Kohberger, if he allegedly washed his car, that there would be no evidence whatsoever. No one is that good at cleaning, and you cannot clean out red stuff stains. Not only that, but we have also seen that there is actually no evidence of cleanup, because if you clean up red fluid and there is bleach or there's a cleaning product to get rid of red fluid stains, guess what? Welcome, Sally. Welcome, Suds. Guess what? You're going to leave that chemical residue behind, and there was nothing found, no evidence of a cleanup. And I rewatched Dylan's interview with ISP Vicky Gooch, Mrs. Gooch, Officer Gooch. She asked Dylan to describe the mask, and Dylan did not know how to describe it. So Mrs. Gooch, Vicky Gooch, said that balaclavas are sometimes worn by law enforcement. Interesting thought that here we have Officer Gooch talking about how law enforcement often wears balaclavas. Rosie, honey, is that you? Is that you, Rosie? Is that you, honey? Huh. Also, we know that they showed her pictures, which I would consider to be extremely inappropriate if somebody cannot remember something. For those of us who have studied psychology, we know that when you are showing pictures, putting words in people's brains, you are literally priming them, basically feeding them bullshit, right? That's what the cops were doing here. Um, interesting. Interesting. They have absolutely nothing against Bryan other than a questionable tiny piece of touch DNA. And don't get me started on touch DNA because you guys know how I feel about touch DNA. You guys know how courts across the country in different states, how military courts, how courts all over the world feel about touch DNA. Touch DNA in most countries, including military courts, is not enough to get somebody arrested. So I'm tired of people saying touch, but the DNA, it's touch DNA, meaning if you shake my hand and then you shake somebody's hand and then they shake somebody else's hand and they shake somebody else's hand, my DNA is still going to be on that person because I shook their hand. That doesn't mean I unalive somebody, boo. Okay. Now, also, would he have really kept the balaclava if he had have used it for the unalivings? I don't believe it was him, and none of the evidence puts him there, but one would assume that if you're going to get rid of the weapon, you're also going to get rid of the balaclava, right? It's common sense, I would think. But anyway, this is going to be just this brief video. I wanted to really get on here and share those biology notes with you because they are important. This is a massive boom. The fact that there's pilling here and that they're saying, no, he used this balaclava. He went out and bought a new balaclava to commit this crime. Well, there's pilling. So it's been washed several times. It sounds like an old ass balaclava with zero DNA. So thank you guys for joining me in today's very brief live. Thank you, Kelly, Sally, Suds, Gone Girl, Pretty Sweet Pea, Sally, for all of you who are just joining. I hope you get to watch this live from the very beginning. Let me know your thoughts on these new notes that are coming out. Hey, Nadine, I'm so sorry. I told you I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. Just a very brief video. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Please give it a like. Make sure to leave a comment, not in the chat necessarily. You can comment in the chat. I appreciate that, but most definitely comment in the comment section. This promotes the channel, promotes the algorithm, and it makes me feel happy inside. So thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. See you soon. Take care. Take care, guys. Take care, Nadine.